Garden Patriots for providing tonight's forum to allow us to discuss our platforms and our positions on the vital issues facing Somerset County. The election to public office is a decision that should always be made with careful and studied thought about each candidate's credentials, their record, and their true understanding of the job. You should know what makes a candidate tick, what drives them not only to run, but why they want to stick around after Election Day and do the job. You need to understand their agenda and how they propose to handle the realities and, quite frankly, the complexities of county government today. So I'm going to begin by taking a few moments to tell you who I am and why I would like to continue to do this job that I've been privileged to do for almost 12 years. After graduating from high school and college and moving out of the area, I came back to Somerset County with my husband and young son to raise a family. At that time, 1987, I got a job at a local radio station as a reporter, and I covered the commissioner's office as part of my responsibilities. It was at that small local radio station, WBSC, that I got to really know the people of this county. The hardworking and caring individuals who took pride in their work and even greater pride in their community. Covering county government gave me a true appreciation of the county I was now again able to call home, its solid values and its rich diversity. I always knew that someday I would try my hand at politics, and by 1999 I knew where it was that I wanted to jump in. In covering county government, I loved its hands-on nature. Commissioners weren't prima donnas then, and they certainly aren't now. They were everyday individuals who rolled up their sleeves and worked on a lot of different projects. But somehow, I did not feel that the projects the county was working on at the time spoke to me about the county's future, or was driving an agenda to ensure that my children would not have to leave this area for a job, that they could stay right here and raise their families. And I was not alone. The campaign of 1999 struck a nerve, and for the first time in my recollection, the county commissioner's race was about vision. Not about building buildings, but rather about building Somerset County's future. It was about investing in ourselves and focusing on projects, long-term and yes, expensive projects that we needed to do because Somerset County was falling further and further behind. And it wasn't just parents who joined the conversation. There were grandmothers and grandfathers who wanted to bring their grandchildren home, or at least try to keep them here. And so from the discussion on the campaign trail to the discussion in the boardroom, we began to talk about high-speed internet and getting 219 back off the shelf, and water, and sewage, and education, and stemming the brain drain that was taking all of our brightest and best out of here on the highways that did exist, and into parts of the country from which they might never return. And now here we are, 12 years later, and I tell you, I still feel that way. I am passionate about the future, and I say if we take our eye off the goal, we will not get a second chance. We have come far, but we have a way to go. I ran then with a vision of my children's future, and now I'm running for their children, because I have learned that great change in government does not come overnight. It takes time, it takes patience, it takes political capital, and yes, it takes resources. But vision does not go far if not tempered by reality. Both our country and our county have changed immensely in the past 12 years. We have weathered the worst terrorist attack on our soil since Pearl Harbor, and as you know, Somerset County did not go unscathed. September 11, 2001 brought the beginning of a national recession that placed government at all levels on a slippery slope, and the collapse of the financial markets in 2008 sent those state and local governments into a spiral from which they are now trying to rebound. And with them, millions of Americans, many here in Somerset County, who have not only lost their faith in the American dream, they've lost their homes, the very homes on which it was built. And so with that change in the economic landscape, the political ground has also shifted beneath our feet. And we are now in respective corners, it seems, debating the future of our government, mostly in terms of dollars and cents. Now, I know that many of you in this room tonight wish to make this commissioner's race a debate over the county budget. But that spending plan, how we fund the many things the county government does and must do, and yes, chooses to do, is a reflection of who we are and our priorities. We are not the federal government, and thankfully we're not the state. We have to meet federal and state mandates to take care of those most vulnerable, our children, our seniors, and the developmentally disabled. We need to protect others from individuals who can't live in a civilized society through our courts and correction system. And we must provide a public safety net that offers emergency services to those in need. County government protects and preserves the quality of life by protecting the environment, supporting the local arts and culture. And we partner with education by providing valuable resources to our farm community through the community college education for students who need to retrain, workforce development efforts in response to those who, through no fault of their own, find themselves without work. There is a good reason for many county programs. Just talk to the neighbors that you have and friends that you have that worked at Fleetwood, who now, decades after they've been on the job, find themselves unemployed. County government is all this and more. Without it, we would not be better served. For the past 9 years, we have seen a major decline in the amount of funding we receive from the federal and state level for programs and services that we historically have partnered in providing. It is a problem that the commissioners have been talking about and responding to for nearly a decade. We have cut costs at every opportunity, implemented a hiring freeze, slowed the escalating costs of health care, negotiated changes in labor agreements, reduced travel, cut energy costs, eliminated positions, delayed the purchase of capital items. You name it, we've done it. We will continue to do it because it is how we do business at the county level during an election year and all others. My platform is the same today as it was 12 years ago. There is only one agenda, and that is the future of Somerset County. I support the completion and expansion of the county's major infrastructure projects. We must complete them while we have the resources available. I will work for the construction of the next phase of Route 219. What a living lesson to us all. Never squander an opportunity. This road should have been done decades ago had it not been for those who said stop. I will work to create jobs by finishing the construction of the Laurel Highlands Business Park and support educational and workforce development efforts in our schools and community colleges. And I will continue to advocate for our most vulnerable citizens who are caught in the middle of a philosophical debate over reforming the state's Department of Public Welfare, even though the human services that they receive aren't welfare and meet only their most basic needs or offer protection from abuse and neglect. What is needed is reform of our property tax system to alleviate some of the burdens on whose property is often their largest asset. And we need relief from some of the mandates that tie the hands of county government. In closing, this is who I am. I am the same Pamela Tokar-Ickes who ran in 1999, and I have worked every day since then to make Somerset County a better place for all of our children and now our grandchildren. I'm a little older, hopefully a little wiser. There might be a little more of me to love, or maybe not. But I am no less optimistic today than I was in 1999, that Somerset County's best days are ahead. And I respectfully ask you tonight for your vote on May 17th. Thank you very much.